I often wondered if maybe one of his inventions had something to do with the other. So our Dr. Physics, like his grandfather, graduated from the med school at the University of Pennsylvania and decided he would take his rather sizable inheritance. If you factor in inflation, it was worth just south of $8 million. So he took his diploma, he took his inheritance, he moved to Cape May, and at 23 years of age, he retired. Never practiced medicine, became a gentleman farmer. And think about this young man. I decided a few years ago, I learned to think about that's what I want to be when I grow up. A gentleman farmer with $8 million in the bank. You think you'd make that one?
Yes,
I think I got a picture of the $8 million. Dr. P was cool though. He loved dogs. Go ahead and dog lovers. I've got a golden I love the pieces. He has 14 dogs. And apparently one of the great dog houses of all time. After he died, and this is true, let's actually this. After he died, they moved the dog house to Stimson Lane in West Cape May. Added on to the house and say there are people living in the old dog house. Amazing. Now, it was so cool to have youngins on board. I want to feel that this is great. And I'll tell you why. Because if you come here like this, September and June, you don't see kids. Not too many people know this. In 1988, children were banned from now. But the reality is, there aren't many kids in Cape May. Cape May Elementary is about 2 blocks away. And when they start up in September, I don't think K through 6 they will have 100 kids in that school. And most of those youngins that attend there, we refer to as coasties, because they're the children of Coast Guard parents. The only training center for the U.S. Coast Guard is located in Cape May. So, most of the Coast Guard for a lot of reasons, popular by the space. Okay, we'll show you again the Southern Mansion. Take another look at it. And having been built in the 1860s, this, of course, does not have indoor plumbing. And you need to make this progressive towards indoor plumbing. And you can start here. If you look behind the main building, you see a little building with 2 louvered windows. Would anybody like to take a guess what that building is? You guys know exactly, you guys. But you know what? It wasn't your run-of-the-mill outhouse. In fact, it was a two-seater outhouse. So we're talking about deluxe accommodations and all sorts of things. Well, the local joke is that there's a partition in the two-seater outhouse, and the locals will tell you that was so you didn't have to sit cheek to cheek. That's true enough. Some of these cottages here on the right are kind of elevated off the ground. And for good reason, because by and large, Cape May was built on marshland. In 1911, the Cape May Harbor was dug, creating 500 acres of silt. And they used that to prop up the town for construction. But this is the lowest area in Cape May, and it's known affectionately as Frog Hollow. Mother Nature's had a lot of fun. It doesn't take much to get flooding going here. But even without a storm, even with high tide flooding. But I want to show you Mother Nature at work again, and how she changed the show now. So down the way on the right is a big yellow cottage called the Buttercup Cottage, originally located in a different town, Cape May Point, about 3 miles away. They elevated the cottage because logs were in, and then they floated the cottage at high tide down to the corner to your left. This was beachfront, this was Beach Avenue. And then with the logs underneath it on the corner, they used the logs to roll it into place. It was his final resting spot on your right. And that houseboating was common here. It was not unusual at all, and most things done because of Mother Nature. To your right, fittingly, this is known as the Twin Gables. If you look up into the right, you'll see those Twin Gables. 2-family house, known as a mother-daughter house. You see 2 front doors. They also had servants with quarters up on the 3rd floor. Okay, I won't make you wait any longer. I'm going to get you indoor plumbing. On the right, very light blue, light red. This is called the Ashley Rose. I want you to look above the driveway. And you notice the room that's sticking out over the driveway? Oh, that's the bathroom. They would knock a hole in the bedroom wall, build the bathroom with the wood of the stroke. They did it all over Cape May. The old slogan was trade the past for the past. Right, so one year, I brought 25 sixth graders over here for an architecture tour, only to have the guy mess this thing up. He made a big mistake. He told the kids about the bathrooms first thing in the tour, and they didn't listen to a word he said the rest of the day. They spent the rest of their afternoon finding the potties and taking it. So a little bit later on, we're going to get you certified as potty finders. So I'm going to go to the right on the next block and go over a beautiful B&B. This is the mainstay. 1872, these are Decatur buttons, classic Italian design. 12-foot ceilings inside. Back in the day, this was Jackson's Clubhouse. This was a gambling parlor. And ladies, I apologize up front. Back then, you were not allowed inside. You were only allowed on the veranda. You have a B&B in the early 1970s. And then coming up on the left, a really iconic building from Cape May. This is the Abbey, featuring a 60-foot tower built for a coal baron named John McCreary. He then built the next one down with the white balcony for his son. And you'll notice rooms above the roof line, a classic mansard roof. That's French, that's ours. And in France, there was a tax dodge. You didn't pay tax on rooms above the roof line. Well, this is New Jersey. We tax everything. It's not about taxes, it's about style. You'll see a lot of different masters here in Oakland. To your left, and in fact, really up and down the block, this was known as Surgeon's Row. Humphrey Hughes House on the left is built in 1903, and years later, Dr. Franklin Hughes lived and worked here. And as you make the left turn, you look on the ground floor, you'll see a plate glass door, a little basket on there. And it turns out that was the entrance to the doctor's office. Now, I don't know about you. Is anybody else uncomfortable with going to the doctor in the dungeon? It just doesn't seem to work for me. Ooh, kids, I hope you love the Wizard of Oz. Take a look at this light gray one here on the left. Every time I look at it, I think of the Wizard of Oz because it has a witch's cap. Can't you just picture the Wicked Witch of the West up there with a fireball in her hand? And there's a single person porch up there. You have to go and stand on it. I wouldn't wait around too long because there's a door up there that swings out. I think you see somebody get bumped off the top. To your left, this is Interstate Bay, built in 1895. This is the part that's facing us right now is built in 1895. This wing that faces the ocean was built 10 years later. And of course, in front of you is the big pond. You see a boardwalk up there, wiped out in the nor'easter of 1962. Victorians refer to it as a plank walk. So you could tell you better after I walk the plank in Cape May. But at the west end, remember I talked about Mother Nature, the west end, there used to be a little town. If you pass tense, yeah, so South Cape May, it no longer exists. Mother Nature took it off the map. It was defunct by 1945. The death knell of the hurricane was 44. Okay, quick look to the right on the promenade. See those arches? We're going to talk some ancient history. That's right. They're 3 years old. They were built in 2022. But they are reminiscent of Cape May in 1900, where you had a trolley line and then it was kind of covered by the ocean. To your right, this coming up between towers are Convention Hall. Third one. First one went up in 1916 and blown to bits in the nor'easter of 62. But this one is lovely. It's only about 10 years old, and the city does a concert series here. Now I don't want everyone's going to understand or recognize the names of the bands this company came from. Some of you will. Let me roll them out for you. How about Jay and the Americans? How about the Letterman? Maybe that's the last. How about Herman Thomas? Peter New, lead singer, 229 years old, rocking and rolling on that stage. They also set up a inflatable movie screen with the movies on the beach in the summer. It is state law in New Jersey. You have to show jaws in August when you do. Okay, so this is where I get certified as an architect in Cape May. I know that's really why you put this to it. You make this left turn, cream-colored cottage with the green shutters. Take a look up. Folks, do you see rooms above the roof line? Yes. Yeah. And notice how the roof angle kind of forms a pair of parentheses at the top. called convex lenses. Very rare. Only 2 of them in taken. Halfway through your final exam. We get to this dark brown one called the mooring on the corner here. Do you see rings above the roof line? Yes. Do you see the pair of parentheses? No. Look again, it's going the other way. That's right. So this is a concave answer, and this is more common, this is more typical. And quite right, take a look at the color of the mooring. Those were typical colors, muted earth tones. The loud, brash colors, really a product of the 1970s. That was back when I needed a comb and I was wearing bell-bottom pants, which I might add are still in my closet. Coming up on the right, we have the oldest hotel in Cape Town, the Chalfont, 1876. The original proprietor, Colonel Henry Sawyer, was a Civil War hero. He's also the guy that called in the Great Fire of 1878. Real lucky that his hotel didn't go to the ground. The day before the Great Fire, there were 2,200 hotel rooms here. And the day after, 200 hotel rooms in here. All right, dirty little secret, covered kids' ears. You see this little alcove on the end? All right, it should be happening here within a couple of weeks. Make sure everybody's listening. Okay. Every year, in that alcove, every year, last year, later on, we get a bunch of hookers that come and visit. And that's where they hang out, in the alcove. And what's really weird about it, it's the same dozen 90-year-old ladies hooking rugs all week long right there. So we always look forward to the arrival of the hookers. Coming up next on the right, I'll show you 2 places. This white one, this is just in finish. It's restoration. They really did a nice job. And then the green one next to it, Jacob Meeting House. This is an interesting tale too. After the Great Fire of 1878, the local railway was trying to get people to come down here, so they would give you a free rail pass if you build a house worth $2,000 or more. Meeting built the house, got his bill, it came to $1,800. But don't fret none. You see that decorative gingerbread, that wasn't on there. Would you like to guess what it cost him for the gingerbread? Yeah. $200 and he got his rail pass. A couple of suggestions for you. Number 1, at sunset, go to the west end of Beach Avenue. Beautiful sunset with a lighthouse in the background. And the second one, doesn't matter day or night. Come on down here to Key Street and walk Key Street. Best Victorian street to take in. It still has the horse and pigeon post. Still has the gas light. The yellow cottage on the left, and that belonged to Norman Rockwell's brother. Old Norman's come over there. Okay, you ready, Chrissy? Let's start with this green one on the right. Okay, folks, it's time to play the game show. Can you find the bathroom? Take a look to your right. You can find it. I know we're not done. This cream-colored one on the right. Can you find the bathroom? We're still not done. Look to your left. Can you find the bathroom? And they're all sticking out there for you. So I hereby pronounce you certified K-Made potty finders. Congratulations. This gold one here on the right, Joseph Hall House, was among the first to be painted in the bright colors, and it was controversial because it's not historically accurate. It's downright beautiful. How would you like to paint that? No. Not fun, right? But you know what? You can always tell the painters around here in the winter, because these are the guys that are driving the Beamers and the Mercedes and the Caddies, and they're doing real well painting houses. And this gray shutter building called the Cherry House in 1849. Really private residence that does public tours, which they do in December. And if you've never been here in December, this town gets lit up. Dozens of tree lighting and Saturday night candlelight tours in Cape Town. Several thousand people on Saturday night in December. And then usually you tell when somebody bought a place, they want to do something with it. This guy really went hot wild. People in here, he gutted it inside and out. If you keep watching, because he really did a thorough job, he's a good little cottage at the back. Okay? And then we talk stories. Okay. This white one on the right is called the Wooden Rabbit in 1839, built for a whaler captain and his wife. She kept a diary and complained in it endlessly. Complained about their times of separation while he was out to sea. complained about the, quote, roving Indians and pirates of the day, also complained about how far they lived from the center of town. See that green building 2 blocks away? That's the center of town. Lady Lake is complaint. Now, for my teachers on board, we, I think, have an understanding that many in the public believe that teachers, active or retired, at all times carry red pens and look for typos. And we also know that that's true, that's what we do. And I found one on this block. I have to share it with you. In yellow, look up above the second floor window. There's a dated sign. Clearly states circa 1491. Folks, that's one of the great lines of all time. There was nobody on that board waving at the Nino, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Couldn't happen. To your left, this is where the Presbyterians hang out on Sundays, and we'll get back to them momentarily. But I love traditions in Cape May, none better than great food, great restaurants. The oldest of which is down here on the right. Today it's named the Cricket Club. Built in 1885 as the College Cafe. And where we're driving right now, going to Prohibition, this was a battleground. But the Collins Cafe was duking it out with the Presbyterians. And I hate to tell you this, dare I say at one point, Cape May went dry. Appropriate response to down yeah. And it lasted, I'll tell you, a good 15, maybe 20 minutes. Real quick, this is what we call a stylized nutrition. Get another look at Beauclair's with the richest fat. You see the Google up on top. And then I put it down. This place to the right is actually built after this great fire, the hotel, with an iron pier on the front that went 300 yards out into the water. And this last arm was whacked by a runaway barge and destroyed. And folks surrounding the hotels in the day were hundreds of bathhouses. And you would not go to the beach in your bathing suit. You would